It's the NFL on EA Sports.
As we see a team who left LA take on a team who came back home. Who knows what we're in store for here?
And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And as we look at this matchup, every time there's something different to focus on. So I'll just ask you, what do you see here in this one?
Well, Rembrandt, you've given me a pretty blank canvas to focus on, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where do you think I'm going to go with this?
Oh, secondary?
You know me well, right? In a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
And we are underway from SoFi Stadium. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
I still remember back in 2013 when he was drafted out of West Virginia. He was coming off of back-to-back 4,000-yard seasons for the Mountaineers. Hadn't seen as much game time in recent years, but at one point, a capable starter in the NFL.
Smith going to look to throw right away. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. His first pass attempt of the game, Charles, and the pass rush was right there to hit him. But no fear, he delivered an accurate ball. Nice catch.
And you never want to see your quarterback getting hit, but it also sends a message to the rest of the team when he's able to take that shot and still deliver downfield. Showing a little toughness, and the team rallies around him. This could really help them on their drive.
11 yards there, just like last play. Pretty good start right off the bat there with throws 1 and 2.
He's not locking in on just one target early, is he? Spreading it around a little bit as this game gets started.
Back-to-back first downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, only 3 plays in here, but really, Charles, a solid start for this offense, and now we'll see if they can continue their mission to end this drive in 6.
And I wonder if their play caller right now is reflecting on that last big play that they've had on this drive. Do you come back with something similar, or do you have a counter to it to kind of show it and go to something else and create another big play?
Throwing again is Smith. And that's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher, and that's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's Smith. Pass incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on second down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Smith now to throw. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, they took the shot, didn't get it. There's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding him to 3, psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. A lane opens here. He's past the 30. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. A first run now for Kyron Williams, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run, and when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Stafford. Screen play set up for Williams. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Now a 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, Stafford. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. This now a 3rd and 4. To throw is Stafford. That is caught. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10 as they've got it as we resume action. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. Now Stafford. Pass complete there to Nakua. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 29-yard line. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, when you're facing a receiver like this, you always come into a game thinking, we've got to put our best corner on him. We've got to find a way to get him off his routes, limit his touches. But that plan, not working too well on this opening drive. That's already 2 catches for him, and this one, good for a first down.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw, Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. They'll stay on the ground with Williams. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Williams is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Now it's Stafford. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. They're going option play on third down. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. That's into the hands of his tight end Bowers. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Geno now to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. That's caught by Myers. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. It's Myers again with another catch. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jacoby Myers as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders would extend their lead here just before halftime.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half, and that'll give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Throwing is Stafford. And he'll find Higby open downfield. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Nothing is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll look to Williams to begin things. And that to the 30. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's Stafford. That's into the hands of Tutu Atwell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He had a minimal gain on first down. Now they stop him for no gain. What do you think, going in a different direction on 3rd down?
Could very well be. I'll guarantee he's asking for the ball 3rd time to try and make up for the first 2. But his QB might very well say, well, my man, maybe next series. Let's try someone else on this play.
And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, if they have any designs on getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. To throw is Smith. That's caught by Tucker. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Off of play action, here's Smith. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, it was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
From the gun, here's Smith. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Smith. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. That 3rd down conversion, good for 23.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. That one's complete out to Michael Mayer.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Throwing again is Smith. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Byron Young, the one who got in and finished that play off.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. So a big one coming now for Daniel Carlson. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And the lead will hold at 10. Now, Charles, all things considered, I guess that's not a critical miss at this stage, is it?
No, but still everything helps when you're trying to finish off a ball game. And you're right, not critical in terms of the scoreboard and the team, but the guy with the golden foot, he knows he's only as good as his last kick.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field, and you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. He hits Adams complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards that time.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
To throw is Stafford. He'll drop this down to Williams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Stafford now to throw. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Puka Nacua, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Okay, I know it's an old line, but it still applies here. The fat lady has not sung yet. She may be warming up, but she hasn't sung yet. There's still an opportunity.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Well, now how about this return? And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Smith. They bring him down. Byron Young able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important 3rd down.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Try to take this home. They'll run.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So now Stafford and the Rams down 10-7, 1:51 on the clock. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Now it's Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I don't know if you need the big shot right there or not because you've still got time to work some of the shorter stuff and try to get into field goal range. They did go for the big one there. It would have been nice, but it winds up incomplete.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Now Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Stafford now to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Stafford. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to swell the lead to 6. The kick by Carlson is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Rams offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. This is 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. The throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw. Throw out wide is incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One last throw here for Stanford. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
Charles, in these lower scoring games, you know it better than anybody. Points are at such a premium, but taking care of the football is king.